Okay, everybody, I'm so excited today because I am joined by Brenna D'Amico, aka April in Night Night, which is out tomorrow on demand. Brenna, how are you doing today?
I am doing so good. And also you said my last name right. Woo! We love it. I'm so excited. I think everybody's really gonna enjoy this film.
Oh, I'll tell you, I loved it. I got the privilege of watching a little early. I'm excited for people to see you in this. Now, you're playing this very serious role now. You're the lead of this film. Approaching it as an actress, when is the moment you feel confident how you're approaching the character of April you play? Like that you feel like, okay, I got this down. Like in your prep, when do you hit that part?
Yeah, that's a great question. Before Night Night, only worked on certain projects that weren't very drama heavy. The only one that I did before that was when I was about 17, playing a pregnant teenager on Code Black as a guest star. And as soon as I got a little taste of that, I always knew I wanted to do drama. I felt it. Like drama's more my niche. I love everything. I love the lighthearted work. I love comedy as well. I just think drama really excites me. So when I read that script of Night Night, I was like, it's a psychological thriller. Like I want to do it so badly. So the preparation was a little different from preparing for somebody, for a network or for a character that's comedy. I just needed to build a relationship with her and know why she thought the things she did and why she did the things she did, in order to pull it off.
Yeah, and you totally do pull it off, and it's good because you show that you have that connection with April, which it shows you put in that work on screen. Now, speaking of your work on screen, there's a lot of time that you're by yourself in certain scenes, a lot of solo scenes. Can you kind of, as an actress, maybe give me maybe like the pros or cons, if you want, of doing scenes without other scene partners? Like, is that more frightening?
I think that's a really great question. I never feel alone in a scene, not because of crew, camera, director, or whoever being around, because I kind of have learned to shield that out just for the authenticity of the scene and feeling more in it. But I'm never alone. I never truly feel alone because I always have like my thoughts going. So I think it's more overstimulating for me to be in a scene alone than with another person, with my other co-stars, because my brain is running a mile a minute, especially as April. In so many of these scenes, she's not even speaking, so it's all in here. It's all right here. So I think those were maybe a little more overwhelming, yeah, than being with another person instead. So I could just like talk it out. It was all internalized, and I think that's why she struggled so much with knowing if it was in real life or just in her head.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting too is like the audience throughout this film is going to feel like trying to figure out what's really happening, and there's a
Mhm.
lot of twists in the film too. So, as the actress of April, to get to that point of her character in certain moments where you've read the script ahead, but do you have to kind of play dumb a little bit in your head to kind of forget what you already might know is coming to really get into character, or is that maybe too extreme?
Absolutely. I think I've grown to kind of build this little mental switch, where I can go method for a scene, but not completely, for days, months on end, just for maybe an hour or so, just to protect my mental as an actor. But there was one time, when we were filming for about like 6 hours, the same scene that was a very, very, very intense scene. I don't want to give too much away, but it was a very, very intense scene, and I kind of like lost myself in it for a couple hours. I didn't mind it because I knew it was happening, but it was overwhelming in like the coolest way. But yeah, you
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
have to kind of block yourself out of it and leave all of the moments for a minute.
Sure. So, like leaving all those moments for a minute, are you someone after you do any work you do as an actress? Are you excited to go watch yourself? Or are you someone who's like, I'm not watching my performance? Or you like grab some popcorn and watch? How do you do it?
Ooh. I'm excited to watch, like, for my other castmates and for everybody else
Okay.
that's done it. Like, I get very nervous watching myself for sure because I'm so overcritical of myself all the
Mm.
time. But this one I was really excited. I was like really eager to watch this one because it's just so different, like I said, from what I've done before. And I was so excited to see everybody and how they reacted. And Niki and Ryan were saying how much they loved it. And then when we saw it, we were all like, that was sick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And yeah, your fans are gonna love it. And I think it's exciting to see you, like you're saying, doing something a little different. Now, does it stop there with like thrill and horror? Are you open to like all genres? Or are you someone who's like, I won't do that? Or like
So open. I
open?
think
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think drama's just I love it so much. I was fortunate enough to do two other horror shorts during the summer, this past summer. And I loved doing them. So I think horror is something I definitely want to keep building on my resume, and thriller and, psychological thrillers like this because I love them.
Yeah, and I think they don't ever get old. People want more and more of it, so it's smart that you're doing this.
Mhm.
Switching gears a bit, having been a younger actress in a huge Disney franchise in Descendants, is there anything you learned from that time that you bring to your work you do now? Like,
Oh, absolutely. Thank goodness I had parents that were so supportive and believed in me so much, but also made sure I stayed humble through, thick and thin. Because it's super exciting when you're 13 and you get to be on a set and, people are offering to put your shoes on for you and holding your straw. And the first time it happened, I was like, Mama, like, that's crazy. She goes, Yeah, honey, that's great. But I want you to try everything in your power to make everybody's days a little easier, because everybody's trying to get through the same day and everybody is just as stressed as everybody. And from that point on, like, I immediately just did every little thing to try to make everybody's jobs a little easier, which in fortunately brought back them being happier. And the happier the set, the easier it's going to flow. So I try to do that in every set I'm on.
oh, that's great. And yeah, it seems like you're smart about it, you're learning, and you're already such a pro at a young age, which is awesome.
Thanks.
Uh, and it's exciting to see where that will go next. But in that time, even during the days of Descendants or now, even, is there a current actress or actor you look up to, or someone you looked up to growing up? Is there anyone that kind of inspires you?
There was so many I looked up to growing up and still do, but right now I'm obsessed with Florence Pugh.
Oh
Um,
my God. Okay, I
she
sorry, I have to drop because I have asked this question a couple times. It is always Florence Pugh. I mean, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. People
oh,
love her.
she is just insane and amazing and just does a little bit of everything. And I just watch her interviews constantly. I watch her constantly. I also love Victoria Pedretti, I
Oh
think her
yeah.
last name is, from You, and
Yep.
Haunting of Hill House. I'm obsessed with her as well. I think they're so stylized in how they approach every character, and they're so them but so not. And I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
love it. I love it.
Those are two great picks. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff you do. You have so many hats, and I think it's really fun on your Instagram. You do different musical covers, and you most recently did a cover of Billie Eilish, "Happier Than Ever," which was great. But what's really cool about it is that you're also a skilled musician because you're playing piano in some, you're playing guitar in others. Is music the first love for you growing up? Is there an equalness to maybe acting and music? Do you not compare them?
I try not to compare them. But I did start music before I started like musical theater at 8 years old when I did, just because my dad was Suzuki trained all by ear when he was growing up. And
Wow.
so I played piano for a really long time, then did guitar. But I love it, and I'm coming out with some music soon, and I'm really excited for people to hear that.
Yeah, hell yeah. And it's great too, because you also have just a great social media presence in general. And I'm gonna ask you some advice is that I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you used to post videos on YouTube and they're not there anymore. And now you're posting on TikTok. Is TikTok where it's at now? Am I doing this wrong? Is YouTube the old man's game? Like where is it to be? Is TikTok it?
No, I think it's wherever your audience and wherever your platform suits you best. I think it's assessing the algorithm and doing your research and educating yourself on exactly what works for you and your platform and your niches. I love TikTok because I just feel like I can be so silly in myself, and also I do have an older fan base on TikTok and a little bit of a younger fan base on Instagram. But I just love being super silly and also doing relatable things to make people feel less alone and can give them a laugh or two in a little bit and a couple seconds. But yeah, I do try to use my platform just for good, and supporting charities that I really love, and foundations and quotes, and letting people know that being human is being human, and you'll get through it, and we all go through hard times, and just letting people know that just because somebody has so many followers, somebody does so much, it doesn't mean nobody's better than you. Everybody's trying to get through the same day, and just to let them know they're not alone.
Yeah, that's great advice here. My last question for you before I let you go, because it'd be disservice to all your fans if I don't ask you this, but people love you as Jane in the Descendants, right? So would you want to see a Descendants 4 happen, and are you up for it if it does come about?
I don't believe a Descendants 4 is going to be happening. But I'm so happy with all of the movies that we've done. And I think Descendants 3 is my favorite one. And I know a lot of the fans will say the
Ah,
same. And the music is so good. And my favorite song is by far Nightfall's Break This Down. Love them.
Oh, amazing. So everyone here, all the Brenna heads out there, you can watch Brenna now crush it in Night Night. It's out tomorrow on demand. Brenna, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to talk to you again in the future.
Thank you so, so much.